Hello guys, how are you? I hope you all are safe. This is your teacher Naman Trivedi here, and today we are going to record a video lecture for malaria life cycle. There had been a lot of demands from my subscribers as I had hit the more than 100 subscribers, and a lot of students had asked me to prepare lectures for specific topics. This lecture will be for English medium and it will only discuss malaria life cycle. Remember, it belongs to the chapter of immunology, which is very important, and they had frequently asked questions from the malaria life cycle. Now they will ask questions from outside the textbook, and in textbook, appropriate and complete life cycle had not been given in NCERT. So I'll be covering it with respect to the questions and whatever is required in the NEET 2020. So this lecture has been designed for NEET only, okay, and for conceptual clearance. You can also go through it. These are my notes which you can see, okay. And if you have any doubts, any comments, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comments on the YouTube. Thank you guys. So we'll start with the malaria life cycle. Stay safe, study well. So basically malaria, as you all know, it is caused by what we call as the malaria is mainly caused by the it's a protozoan disease, okay, and the sporozoid form is responsible for it. So if you remember the second chapter of the 11th standard, that is biological classification, sporozoans can be termed as a classification or subclass of the protozoans. So this belongs to mainly it is a sporozoid form, so it belongs to the sporozoans as such. So sporozoa is the group which you can call. So it is caused by a protozoan. It is caused by a protozoan called as Plasmodium. So Plasmodium has few species like Vivax, malaria or malary, from which the name is derived, ovale. So what we call as the falciparum is the malignant malaria. Falciparum is the malignant malaria. Okay, it can turn fatal sometimes. Okay, commonly it is mainly termed as the cherry malaria, as you call, okay. And then it is like the more severe form of malaria. So you should know this about this falciparum. You should know Vivax, malaria and ovale. Mainly in humans, this causes the normal malaria, which we all have suffered, I think, at least once in our life usually. Okay, so uh, like, see, as you know, this cannot be like my classroom lecture, so I'm going to nutshell. So it has digenetic life cycle. That means protozoan Plasmodium, which causes this disease. Whatever I have written is important for question, keep that in mind. It has digenetic life cycle. So man is primary host, okay, and mosquito is secondary host. So the primary host and the main host in which it passes its major lifetime is termed as primary, while in which it passes certain part is termed as secondary host. So the preliminary host is the primary host is man or human being, and mosquito is secondary host. The carrier for this, okay, the carrier for this is female Anopheles mosquito. That is the secondary host. The carrier for this is female Anopheles mosquito. Carrier is female Anopheles mosquito. Keep that in mind. Now you should know one thing, that basically this mosquito, okay, this female Anopheles mosquito doesn't have any personal issue with us, okay, doesn't have any personal vengeance with us. So why it bites human? Also you should know in this arthropoda, because mosquito belongs to arthropoda, so mainly insects, okay, or arthropods. In this case, mainly the female is the one which bites. Female is the one which bites. Male mosquito will not bite because it doesn't have the proboscis needed to bite it. Now why female bites? Because female doesn't bite us because it has got some personal issues, but it will bite us so that it can basically obtain the required protein, from our blood, because as you know, our blood is rich in so many different types of proteins. So as it can obtain required protein from our blood, and that protein can be used to nourish the developing eggs of itself. That is when Anopheles will be pregnant with the small larval forms of mosquito developing. Okay, so that eggs can get nourishment from the human blood. That eggs can get nourishment from the human blood proteins, and that's why to obtain the proteins from the for their nourishment, this will bite the humans. Otherwise there is no point in biting. It doesn't bite us to spread malaria. It bites us to obtain the proteins. Now when it bites us, at that moment this plasmodium, which is already in the mosquito, will be transferred to the human body. When it bites us, at that moment the plasmodium in the mosquito will be transferred to the human body, as you can see. So the first host, so the first host over here is the Anopheles. I mean, as primary host is human being, so we'll start the place from where it will be transforming, or sorry, it will be transferring it to the humans. Okay, so let's say that there is a female Anopheles which had bitten a human being. Okay, so there is just human had a bite of the Anopheles mosquito which is carrying the plasmodium. So let's say human being has a bite of the Anopheles mosquito which is carrying the plasmodium. So human being is the first host. Now mosquito has sporozoid form. Mosquito has sporozoid form because, as you know, that's why plasmodium has been classified as a sporozoa in the protozoan category. It has been classified as sporozoa in the protozoan class, okay, or in a subgroup of the protozoa. Remember the names of different names we will be studying over here, like cryptoschizoids, sporozoids, merozoid, cryptomerozoid, eukainate, oocyst. All these names are with respect to the structures which is assumed or which is propagated and developed by the plasmodium parasite throughout its life cycle. That is, all the names which I am using starting from sporozoid to the eukainate oocyst are used for different shapes and sizes of plasmodium parasite. Different shapes and sizes of plasmodium parasite. Each of them has a separate definition and description, but that is not in NEET syllabus, so I am not going in that because this terminology is mainly Latin and Greek, so that's why the shape and size has been denoted by such structures like sporozoid, if there is a spore, cryptoschizoid, eukainate, all those things. Keep that in mind. Okay, so that is not required for NEET, it will never be asked. You just need to know the life cycle stages. So now the first part we are starting. Now basically we divide the life cycle in as such three different conditions: pre-erythrocytic, exoerythrocytic, as well as endoerythrocytic. Okay, sorry, just a moment, as well as endoerythrocytic. Now, as you know, let me open the board. As you know, erythrocyte means RBC. So if it is inside the RBC, we call it endo. If it is outside the RBC, we call it exo. But there's also something which has been mentioned, which sounds confusing. Okay, that is what we call as the pre-erythrocytic. That is before the RBC stage. So as such, it is also outside. Okay, as such, it is also outside, but it is basically explained as the stage which is before the RBC. So what do we consider over here? What do we consider? Here we consider when the mosquito bites, so it sucks the blood, so the skin and the blood vessels, okay, that stage till it is in the circulatory system, and when it infects the RBC, in that relation we take it. Okay, keep that in mind. Also, you should know one more thing, that mainly the main target of plasmodium is in our body, in human body, is liver, RBC. It is the main target. So the life cycle is in relation to its stages in the liver and RBC. Keep that in mind. And it is in relation to the human beings. It is in relation to the human beings. So that you should know. Okay, so I'm coming back to that. So let's say first there is the sporozoid. The sporozoid has we reached to the humans, okay, in the human skin. So in human body, it is entered through skin, it will go to the blood circulation, no symptoms, because mosquito sits on the skin, then it will use its proboscis. Okay, proboscis is a trunk like structure, okay, through which it can suck blood, and then will start sucking the blood. It will reach to the human liver probably after 30 minutes. Okay, it will reach to the human liver through circulation. probably after 30 minutes. Okay, so after a mosquito bite, within 30 minutes, this can reach to the human liver. So this is entirely outside the erythrocyte or outside RBC, but before RBC. So it is termed as pre-erythrocytic. It is termed as pre-erythrocytic. Erythrocytes means RBC, as you know. Now try to understand. Now liver cells. Okay, basically liver cells, as you all know, what are liver cells? Liver cells are nothing but what we call as hepatocyte. Hepatocytes are, if you know digestive system, you might have studied that, termed as liver cells. They are termed as liver cells. Okay, so now this is reached to liver. So this is so small, so this will basically, the plasmodium will get spherical in shape. Plasmodium will get spherical in shape, and it will enter in the liver cell, and such a condition is termed as cryptoschizont. Such a condition is termed as cryptoschizont. You can see it over here. It is termed as cryptoschizont. So this liver cells, as if you remember the liver cell structure, hepatocytes are quite big. In this manner they have these codes and this arrangement. So approximately this you can see as such 1000 per liver cell. You can see 1000 cryptoschizont, or the parasite forms. Plasmodium forms can be seen approximately 1000 in each liver cell. Now imagine this is only in single liver cell. It is only in single liver cell. Okay, so how many huge numbers will be there? Okay, how many huge numbers will be formed? Okay, so it is approximately 1000 cryptoschizont forms will be 1000 in the liver cell. Okay, now this is also termed as, this liver stage is also termed as exoerythrocytic. This liver, because it is outside RBC but in liver. I have denoted in which place it takes place. Okay, because when they ask questions, they may ask you in liver which forms are found, or what is exoerythrocytic stage. So there are different terms. So sometimes in the old books they used to mention pre-erythrocytic and exoerythrocytic separately. But now in the new books, to avoid confusion, they just give two like divisions: liver stage and the erythrocytic stage. Okay, but whenever they have asked questions in NEET, they have asked in this manner. So my notes are according to designed like this. So if you read somewhere, that do not prove me wrong. It is basically I have streamlined this for the NEET questions and the questions they have asked this. As you know, our syllabus is not advanced. Okay, so it is like this 5-year-old 5-10-year-old information they are still putting out. So it is also exoerythrocytic and also termed as the liver stage, as you can see in my notes over here. So basically this 1000 cryptoschizont will now undergo asexual reproduction, because it can also have sexual stage. It is protozoans. It will undergo asexual reproduction, which is termed as schizogony. It is a type of multiple fission. So as you know, now there was already cryptoschizont was formed. So cryptoschizont stage was in liver. Okay, so now this stage will undergo what we call as schizogony. Now schizogony is nothing but it is sort of a multiple fission. It is kind of a multiple fission. Keep that in mind. I hope you know multiple fission, when nucleus will divide and then organisms will be formed. So these all things will happen in where? So it will all happen in liver. Or in hepatocytes. Okay, so as you can see over here, and then the stage which you see, and then the stage which is formed from cryptoschizont. Is mainly cryptomerozoite. So the size is further reduced. So from 1000 again they are transformed into what we call as cryptomerozoite. So now they are in basically in millions. Okay, now from this, why this cryptomerozoite is formed? To reduce the size, hepatocytes are big. Okay, these are hepatocytes, while RBC, if you look, they are biconjugate, they are very small. So to enter this RBC, they reduce the size. The size is reduced and they form millions of cryptomerozoites, because 1000 per cell were there in single cell. Now they divide and they form millions of this. Okay, I have some of my friends doing PhD on finding the malaria vaccine, and as you know, malaria is responsible for so many deaths around the world. Still it is in the top 5 diseases causing maximum deaths. In Africa alone, it causes like so many lakhs of the deaths. So we are trying to find the vaccine of malaria since last almost 20-25 years, in fact 40 odd years if you can say, the primary efforts, but we are not able to find it. And plasmodium has been infecting humans till the time Egyptian mummies were there. So it has been with humans like in the evolution in the millions of years. They also found traces of plasmodium in the our ancestral fossils which they have discovered. Okay, so plasmodium has been infecting humans since millions of years and since thousands of years since humans had been there. Okay, now this plasmodium you can also see in chimpanzee, gorilla and all those primates. Okay, and like some of the species like Vivax ovalia can also seen infecting gorilla and chimpanzee also, but they don't have such severe impact as us. They have survived, it has been observed. Okay, so just for your information knowledge I am telling. So this plasmodium parasite is very smart. I mean it is, in fact virus is more smarter, but like even still we are struggling with the corona condition, but we are not able to even find cure for malaria. Bill Gates had a Melinda Gates Foundation which he sponsors, and they are putting a lot of money in Africa and all for this. Okay, in India also we have considerable number of deaths from the malaria. Okay, so hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine is commonly quinine based derivatives are used for its treatment. Okay, so Africa, Asia has maximum deaths because of the malaria, and the reason is mosquito bites. So be safe from the mosquito. Also, it can lead to filariasis, which comes in this chapter. So, I mean, so it is like so smart. I mean, so micro, so tiny, yet so smart. Like, and the viruses are a separate thing. Viruses like they are not organism. They are agents. This is organism, protozoan, eukaryote. Then also you're not able to find the cure. So if you just read this life cycle and then correlate of what I'm saying right now, it really sounds that this virus this plasmodium is this parasite is so smart. I mean it has been gradually evolving, it's changing its strategies and we are not able to target it. And it has been I had some of my friends working on this vaccine design and all. I had one of my friends in NIH US also working on this, that once it crosses the liver, okay, you cannot really stop it. So only way you have to stop this is over here at the liver stage. After that there are no chances, okay. So see, it can change the shape. Okay, 1,000 per liver cell, then it will be in millions to infect the RBC, because RBC are small, liver cell are big, and then it will assume this shape which we call as the cryptomerozoites. Okay, so then from the cryptomerozoid there will be some change in structure. It forms something called as metacryptoschizoid, okay, which is very small in size, and this enters the RBC. So they've asked this question, which stage enters the RBC? So it can be either cryptomerozoid or metacryptoschizoid. In some of the books they say same both the terms. I mean either the cryptomerozoid is what they use, but ideally it should be metacryptoschizoid. But if they ask you in options, you can choose metacryptozoid as the answer. It is the stage which infects the RBC. Okay, if metacryptoschizoid is mentioned, you can also choose it. Now this is what I'm talking about is the RBC stage. I'm talking about the RBC stage. So it is termed as inside the RBC, so we call it, this is inside RBC, so we call it endoerythrocytic stage. It is inside the RBC, so we call it endoerythrocytic stage. Okay, so just a moment. So keep that in mind. Now one of the most important thing for question is trophozoite. So we are all in endoerythrocytic, keep that in mind. Okay, so we are right now discussing the RBC stage. Okay, we are right now discussing all in the RBC stage. So in RBC, from the metacryptoschizoid to cryptomerozoid, trophozoite form is assumed, which is amoeboid, okay, which develops pseudopodia, false legs. Okay, remember that it is amoeboid stage, so it looks mainly like amoeba. So this is what it develops, what we call as the pseudopodia, okay, or false leg like structure, which if you know amoeba, you might have seen this kind of structure. These are all what we call as pseudopodia. Okay, now what happens that this will mainly start to consume hemoglobin. Just a moment, sorry. This will mainly start to consume hemoglobin. Trophozoite will start to consume hemoglobin. So as you know, hemoglobin is a protein, globin is protein mainly. So this is what it will use as nourishment. Anopheles mosquito will use this as nourishment, but here this activity is of the plasmodium. So the hemoglobin is one of the proteins why mosquito can bite also, but here plasmodium will start consuming globin, and through the metabolic activity it forms something termed as Haemozoin. It forms something termed as haemozoin. This haemozoin is very toxic and it leads to fever. So if you know, in malaria there are frequent bouts of the fever which will come and go, which will come and go. So the fever will be there, it will not be there. So it will be like the coming and going phenomenon of the fever, which is a usual sign of malaria, as you know. Okay, that is because of this haemozoin formation. Haemozoin is a pyrogen. Haemozoin is a pyrogen. So pyrogen is something which causes fever. Bacteria, these parasites have such pyrogens. So this leads to fever, as it consumes the globin part in the, because iron it cannot consume, and then it forms through this its metabolic activity a toxic compound, which is what we call as haemozoin, which leads to fever. So remember about this. This is a frequently asked question in NEET. So you should know about haemozoin. Okay, so why? Because Plasmodium parasites, it consumes what? It consumes globin part, protein part from the hemoglobin. Okay, keep that in mind. So this haemozoin is mainly toxic. This haemozoin is toxic. Okay, it is also it can cause, it is a pyrogen, so it causes fever or bouts of fever which will come and go, can be seen because of haemozoin. So that's what we call as malarial form, and it is all caused by trophozoite. So it is one of the most important 4 questions. Okay, so going back to the next stage. Now this trophozoite will get round in shape. Now this trophozoite will get round in shape. We call it schizont. Okay, it gets round, we call it schizont. Now this schizont again undergoes asexual reproduction. This schizont will again undergo asexual reproduction. This schizont or round will undergo again asexual reproduction, and then what it will form is what we call as merozoite. It is also like multiple fission. It will form merozoite. Merozoite will undergo sporogony. Sporogony is sort of sexual reproduction. And hence it produces gametocytes or gametes. Hence it produces gametocytes or gamete producing cells. This all happens in RBC. Once again I am reiterating, this all happens in RBC. So you should know that basically sporogony, okay, is a stage which will lead to the sexual cycle, which will happen in mosquito. So it is sort of like the prior process to formation of the gamete producing cell. Okay, what you can call as gamete forming cells. Okay, remember about, and this is done by the merozoite. Is all in human in RBC. Now let's say if mosquito bites a human again. Okay, in that case, now this blood which will contain gametocyte will be transferred to the mosquito. So the blood which contains gametocyte will be transferred to the mosquito. As you know, female can only bite because it is only proboscis, and it can only get, so it will again suck blood to obtain nourishment. So now the gametocyte has entered to the mosquito. Okay, as you can see, so the gametocyte has entered in the mosquito. It will go to the gut of the mosquito digestive system. Here gametogony will occur. Gametogony means gamete formation. So gamete forming cells are gametocytes. They are formed in humans or human RBC. Now in mosquito there will be gametogony. Or gamete formation will happen. So the smaller one is what we call as male gamete. Bigger one is what we call as megagamete or megagametocyte. It is just to classify. It is not like the usual male and female, but just to class, just they are separate in size, they are different, so we call them different gametes. So we call them as a micro and mega gamete. Now the smaller is micro, bigger is mega. So this is what we call as smaller is micro, or you can also call it mega is bigger or larger in size. So there is fusion of male and female gametocytes now. As you know, this is also haploid. So n plus n will form what? 2n. So this is sort of fertilization. Where it forms ookinete, which is zygote or 2n. Now this is actively moving. So this zygote or ookinete can move. okay, and then it forms the covering or protective covering, which we call as oocyst, or ancestration will happen. Again, it will undergo sporogony, a sort of asexual reproduction. Again, it will undergo sporogony, a sort of asexual reproduction. So just I want to clarify one thing here also. This was what was asexual, okay, yeah. So and then the gametes are produced, okay. So it is a prior state to that. So just I would like to I think I'd said it was sexual. It is not asexual, it is asexual reproduction, okay. Sorry from my part, it was a slip of tongue especially. And then in the this will produce sporozoite, approximately 10,000 in number. It will reach to the mosquito salivary glands, okay, and then again when it will bite the human, it will be transferring this sporozoite. So this is a question which is asking human which stage is transferred. So as you know, I have started with this sporozoite. So in human it will basically entering in this sporozoite stage, okay. The protective covering, if the zygote, as we call it oocyst, moving zygote, is ookinete, formed by the combination of male and female gametes, okay. So just I'll tell you. So in mosquito what will happen, already this is all what I am discussing is about the mosquito. So in already mosquito there has been gametocytes are, or gamete producing cells are produced by asexual reproduction, So if you see, then mosquito, the sporogony had happened in human RBC. Now this sporogony is a kind of asexual reproduction. I am again repeating, it is a asexual reproduction. So this will form gametocytes. Now this gametocytes is sucked by mosquito, so it will go into mosquito. Now this mosquito, so now whatever I'll be discussing, it is inside the mosquito. So inside the mosquito there is this gametocytes are there. So this gametocytes will produce two things, that is microgamete and megagamete. It will produce two things, that is microgamete and mega. So we call the smaller one as the microgamete, okay, or you can also call it as a male one, okay, and the bigger one as the mega or the female, okay, just from the size, okay. Now when this micro and mega, when this male and female, or micro and, it is not like male female, just they are bigger and smaller is what we will be fusing, it will undergo fusion. Now this fusion will produce what? Zygote. So it is like n plus n equal to 2n. It is like n plus n equal to 2n, because the gamete, be it microgamete was n, be it megagamete, it was also n. So n plus n equal to 2n, and this is what we call as zygote or ookinete. So ookinete is actively moving zygote. You can read it in my notes also. Now this will undergo ancestration. I hope if you know the first chapter of the 12th, it will undergo cowering. It will form a protective cyst surrounding it. Which is what we call as ancestation, and now we can call it as a oocyst. It has formed the oocyst stage. You can see over here. It will undergo sporogony. Sporozoites are formed, approximately 10,000 in number, enters the human when the mosquito bites. So here also I am just divided in three phases for questions. Parasite forms can be pre-erythrocytic, exo and endo. Pre is considered as liver and skin. Once sporozoite is where it enters. Exo is cryptoschizoid and cryptomerozoite. In liver it mainly, exo talks about the liver stage, okay. And endo, or in RBC, trophozoite, schizoid, merozoite and gametocyte. So it is always in relation to the human. What about mosquito? In mosquito, you can have gametic fusion, ookinete and oocyst. And mosquito, the entry is in the form of the gametocytes. Entry is in the form of the gamete producing cells. So in mosquito, you can see the stages, which is sporozoid, oocyst, ookinete. Remember that. So it's just for your understanding. So all these names I have mentioned, it is for nomenclature is not in syllabus, and for shape and the properties acquired. Okay, so that all depends on shape and structure. So that's all about malaria life cycle, guys. Go through my notes. Okay, if you like my way of explaining, kindly mention in comments, like my video, spread my channel, and go through this entire malaria life cycle. When you need notes, you can always WhatsApp me, I'll send it to you. So that's all. This is Naman Trivedi signing off. It's very important. Go through the life cycle and read well. Stay safe. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you, guys.